Hello, thank God it's the beginning of the weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
How you doing, Jimmy?
Elita Soba, the mister is out of town, and then I got out of my house this morning and I realized I had a flat tire. I had to go and borrow my cousin's car, which was manual. I drove here. Yeah, I learned to drive with manual,
really?
but I haven't driven manual in over 6 years.
Wow.
But I tried.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I don't do that. So I don't want to be put in that position. No way.
My examination with Dr. Yemisi on Wednesday went very well. Aside from that, I need to lose a few kgs. She said to me, oh, you know this BMI?
If you need to lose 2 kgs, I know what she's going to tell me.
Well, she's waiting for both of you. She said to me that, Juwake, ice cream is okay once in a while, and I was smiling. She said it was when you make it weekly, it becomes a problem.
Wow.
But I'm doing well.
That's good. Man, what will I go and see her?
She's waiting for you.
I didn't want to go and tell her, if you need to lose a few kgs. She told me that I need to just
I feel
cut
very
it half.
unhealthy, like I'm not fit in any way. But what I want to talk about was my mom yesterday went to meet my housemate's parents, and based on the insistence that we just keep bringing strangers into the house and you don't know their whereabouts. You hear funny stories about kidnapping, and I think that we as parents need to address it, that you can't leave your children who you don't know where they're from or what they're doing. We realize that half of what she said, I'm saying, all she said were lies. Imagine. But when we went to the grandmother and her mom, and we now got to find out all about her, at least they know where she is. They're even more comfortable that just keep her occupied. They're happy about it. I think people need to make that extra effort.
My help
to
team,
get
I know her father. I speak to her father, her parents. I mean, they know who we are, and it's actually coming to Lagos to see us, which is good. I like that.
Good.
Hey, girl, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I like the yellow tone in the eyes and.
I'm doing amazing.
Okay.
She does say that.
Yes,
She say
I'm very well, thank you. Talking about what you just said, I fired my house help because she was lying. And the reason I fired her was not because of her lies, but more of the impact it's going to have on my children. So you have to be careful who you surround your children with, so that they don't pick up the habits of telling you lies. Because you might need to really double check again and see if you want to really keep her as a help.
But if not lies, you'll be sacking everyone.
No, there are still some people that
we brought a professional nanny recruiter who actually they screen them properly. So even I, by God's grace, I might invest in that later eventually, because
because these are the people that stay with your children for a very long time.
Yeah,
I mean,
true. You need to make sure.
They say, don't tell your mommy.
So and that is how it starts, and the habit now continues. Well, I'm very well, thank you. I'm amazing.
So you're going to invest in this brand?
Yeah, I thought about it. But that's not even what I want to say. This evening, myself and my family, we're going for the experience. Okay. We want to go and sing. I think it's really amazing. My children are excited about it.
I want to watch online.
At least they are grown, so they can go and worship the Lord.
After that rain beats me, how many years is going experience? Since then, I'm not
I'll come and hijack you.
I used to go in the first, second. That third one, that rain that beat me till I can never forget it.
It's the same experience online. Trust me.
I watch online.
So watch it online, right?
No, I think the effect is usually awesome when you're there, but I can't stand the crowd. I don't go for all these church conferences that you see, except my own church is doing it. So maybe, but
well, so experience is tonight. Great.
Yeah, I'm going.
Giving them free publicity. All right. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yes, welcome back. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the Punch. Unremitted 450 billion naira. Federal government to prosecute indicted revenue agencies officials. Picture here of Nnamdi Kalu doing his arraignment at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Federal government sacks 12 Auchi Poly Randi lecturers after Punch report. Perish the thought of Biafra, Buhari tells agitators. Olaniwu buried, Osinbajo, Amoso, Dangote, others pay tribute. I have destroyed my U.S. green card, says Shoyinka. Parents chain 14-year-old runaway daughter. An alleged corruption, EFCC to probe insurance commissioner and others. Let's take the human and good story. The ouchie story. Let's start with that one.
Should we start with that?
Yes.
Okay, some lecturers have been, some of them suspended, some of them sacked. And the reasons that were stated was that these lecturers extort money from girls, and they give marks to some of them, their boyfriends.
What happens at the male, the guys
The
in
male will
school,
send their girlfriends
they will
or prostitutes.
hire prostitutes,
Yeah.
or ask their girlfriends to go and sleep with the lecturers for higher marks, or to give the lecturers money. And this has been ongoing for a while.
For a long time.
So these 14 lecturers,
Yes.
I mean, I think 7 and a few other workers were sacked.
Imagine the kind of morals the students will be coming out with.
Saying.
And this is where they are shaping them.
Ouchie
If the
polo.
lecturer that is teaching you is willing
Extorting-
to extorting money and sleep around to give you marks, then when the
Some
file
of the
comes
lecturers
out,
even said that they don't even want to sleep around. What they want is money. The only thing is that when you give them 10,000 or 20,000, I think the highest mark they give out is a C, and all that. You see, so when you are complaining that somebody is writing, when you are complaining that somebody is coming for an interview and the person sounds dumb, you wonder where it's happening. So I keep saying that you have to trace it back to the schools. So even the curriculum in the schools, the educational system, everything has to be changed.
Okay, let's 14-year-old Onyeka John was found tied to the burglary proof behind chained. We should use chained to the burglary proof by her parents. She was found by the landlord. She was stark naked. He called another co-tenant. They alerted the police. The police invited the parents. They said they chained her because of her usual manner of running away from the house. They attributed it to some form of psychological problems. And she has been tied for how
almost
many?
Almost a month.
She said almost a month.
when you're chained, you would want to run away. We've already discussed the psychological problems. We have hospitals that will treat you for psychology. If you are running away and you think it is based on insanity or something like that, take the person to the hospital.
To the parenting you talk about all the time.
I keep saying
is chaining a child the solution to that
is
problem?
because the statement that was said was that because they always find out that the girl is always running from home. That even the Punch reporter that called the father when he was talking at the concluding part of the report said that the girl right now she's nowhere to be found because they released the girl to the parents back, and they said she's nowhere to be found. If a girl is running away from home, have you gone to check? They have, from the report, he had not even taken her to the hospital to even verify if she truly had mental issues. Yes. You just name something you cannot explain, and it boils down to, I don't understand the fact that you can get pregnant. I keep saying this thing does not qualify you to be a parent. You must learn the act of parenting another human being.
May I even say that I thought of running away many times after being flogged. So, I mean, there are many things that can make a 14-year-old think of running away.
Let's move on to the nation. Trump, Soyinka throws away his U.S. green card. And he makes headlines. Right? Kano, judge to rule on witnesses' secrecy on December 13th. Buhari may propose 7.3 trillion estimate for 2017. And 13 die in Kwara Road accident.
Okay, which story? The 13 die in Kwara Road accident. Okay. Well, the 13 were all in the same bus. They were going from to Kaduna, and they ran into a stationary truck. It was on high speed, and all the passengers, the 13 of them inside that bus, died. The issue is, some people even within the area wanted to burn the truck because we have issues. I've gone through to Benue before, and you see trucks parked on the express. Even when you're going to Ibadan, trucks parked on the express, nothing. So the car on high speed rams into it, kills 13 people, and we're only waiting to hopefully see the owners of the truck. I think that the security officials, road police need to do more about the matter because we cannot have people dying. Festive period is coming up. We don't want trucks parked on the road without proper signage to ensure people don't run into it like that.
Let's move on. Oh, Soyinka, it's really straightforward.
He's in all his papers.
Yes,
he's 82, for goodness sake.
What
is even going to America?
And he has said that he's not against anybody that wants to go to America and have green card. That's okay. Anyway, moving on to Vanguard.
He has utilized
lived his life.
The benefit of the green card.
He has milked the benefit of the green card. So and at 82, you are now saying you are throwing it away.
Shouldn't he be
Vanguard?
relaxing in the
Federal government seeks prosecution. Nobody can please you guys. I don't get it. Federal government seeks prosecution of 33 agencies. Okay, we'll mention that in Punch. Trump, I've thrown away my green card. Telecoms operators berate NCC on suspension of data tariff floor. Why Nigeria wasn't part of OPEC's output cut. Biafra, federal government bringing aliens to testify against me, says Kanu. And NLC to Sage's committee. You are no saints. We have your records.
I want to quickly follow up on the NCC story.
Yes.
Because based on we've reported they want to increase, it's been suspended. Now the telecommunications company are saying that they're not happy about the suspension, because we all thought that it was from the NCC, that the hike was from the policy holders.
It is from the NCC.
This is saying that the telcos actually clamored for...
No, what I read, that's not what I read. What I read was that telcos are saying, listen, you're acting as if you didn't do enough research before you came up with this decision to actually give it a unified floor. That what you did is just, you're just moving to the whims of the government. You shouldn't do that. You should have defended it because it was a well thought out plan. You shouldn't just decide to stop it that way. That was their own issue, not because they were clamoring for it.
Fluctuation of policies.
Okay, who read the Kanu story?
Thing.
Yes.
His bail application once again was thrown away by Justice Binta yesterday, and he was saying that the federal government, they're bringing aliens, people unknown to him or anyone else, to testify against him. Pretty much.
Let's move on to Daily Sun. Audit exposes 450 billion naira unremitted funds to federal government.
Yes,
Hey, EFCC steps in to investigate 33 agencies. Senate okays fresh poll when candidate on verge of victory dies. Remembering Audu. Kalu prefers solution to food scarcity. Federal government cuts workers' November salary. Biafra listen to IPOB. Igbo monarchs take Buhari. Interesting, lots of stories. Yeah.
Can I list the agencies?
Yes.
Please, go ahead.
There's WAEC, National Open University,
JAM,
NCC, the Airport Authority,
CAC.
there's FAN, there's CAC.
There is
is
the
making
Nigerian
money
Ports
now.
Authority.
Nigerian Port Authority, and then FAN.
Yeah.
So
All of
many
them.
agencies that are, and they said this remittance was between 2010 and 2015
Yes.
unremitted funds.
What I even like what the minister said, she didn't say we're investigating. She said, give us a plan how you plan to pay back. She's not asking you to come and discuss. Just tell us, give us a plan. What's your proposal
to
on
make our
pay
monies
back?
back.
And all these things are
So obviously they have enough evidence to show that indeed they never remitted.
all
funds.
these things are being identified as a result of this what's it called,
TSA.
the TSA account, that you know that okay, every
Excuse me.
agency must put in.
They didn't call
so
it
look at
NPC.
JAM.
They didn't
It
call
said
it
33,
NPC.
so I'm sure.
No.
What? Because NNPC will usually just come and say,
how they
this is
spent
how
the
much we
money.
have spent. This is how much is remaining.
33 agencies, I'm sure. We don't have all the list, but I'm sure.
But from the list that they mentioned, they were part of the ones.
I'm happy
mentioned.
we are going to make him. I
Who
want to talk
read-
about the salary
please,
slash, because workers of the Ministry of Information are crying out that some of them actually got 50% of their salary this November. Some got as in 10% off their salaries. This is based on the fact that there is a new policy. Tax, pension, and national housing fund is being removed from the gross salary. The staff were complaining that they were not informed that they were going to have a shortfall in their salary. And we know that there's recession. We know that there's inflation. We know that Christmas is coming. You now cut some people's salary by 50%.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Let's not be sentimental about this.
That's what I want to say. Did they apply for these houses and they are getting the houses and they're not paying the down payment they're supposed to be
You said
paying?
they were not informed that it was
It's
going to
a
start.
piece of information.
They were
Did
not
you
informed
apply
it
for
will
a
start
house?
November.
It's a yes or a no answer. If you apply for a house and
Excuse me.
and the previous government have not been asking you to pay, if you were working in a bank, you will pay. So what are we saying?
They used to remove pensions fund from pensioners that are lining up on queue that are not getting their money now.
But this is
And the
the better
federal
scheme.
government is also saying that we want to go and borrow the pension fund that is lying somewhere waiting. Please, let's make it transparent that if you take whatever percentage from my salary, I eventually get my money.
Gotcha. That's
Let the
important.
next government not say it's not us who took it.
Then finally, on the, our president talking to the Eastern leaders that came to see him. I don't know.
He said to forget Biafra.
I'm saying like maybe we should. Maybe somebody needs to help our president in how to communicate these things. There's a way you communicate, where people feel like you're not totally discarding what they're saying. You're saying, listen,
Maya.
yes,
Listen,
it's an
I'm
option.
taking you.
However, maybe we can prefer this solution first. I don't know. There's a way you talk to
Maya,
your people that they
I
don't feel
learned-
like you're just discarding their own point
I
of view.
learned this morning that listening is the most important aspect of communication.
Yeah.
It is the only respect you can give to someone is to make sure that they realize that you're
Yeah.
listening to them.
Yeah.
You know, so listen first, negotiate with them, tell them, convince them why Nigeria needs to stay together.
Don't just tell them.
These people have agitations and you're saying just forget it. It won't work like that.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break. When we return, we started this conversation yesterday. We couldn't finish it. This Zara and Indimi's wedding matter, very juicy story. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. According to reports that we read, the wedding ceremony of Zara, the 21-year-old daughter of our president, earlier scheduled for this weekend, was postponed. The postponement was possibly as a result of President Buhari's insistence on a low-key wedding, as he is not comfortable with the attention people like Jumoke and Co, media guys, giving to his daughter's wedding. However, findings have possibly revealed that the wedding was postponed due to the delivery of 40 Louis Vuitton bags worth about 120,000 pounds, which is just about 47 million naira. What's that? To Zara, where we're said to have been delivered in 30 exotic cars. What are your thoughts on it? Listen, you can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. I don't know what this hula baloo is about, because this is the daughter of the president, for heaven's sake.
Seriously.
It's 47 million. What is that? That's like 40 naira for a president.
Right.
Like, what are you opening your mouth for? If you were Zara,
seriously,
won't you be like the bride? But you know what? Bring it on. What's your problem?
Are you people say there's recession in Nigeria?
There's no recession. In certain regions, there's no recession. It is here that there's recession.
Some people do not know that there's, 30 exotic cars.
Now, they didn't give her, it was delivered in.
We're saying, but the 40 exotic Louis Vuitton bags were for her.
Customized.
And
they've not
customized ZBI. Zara, Buhari, something.
They've not opened it to see the jewelry inside.
And the money inside.
We're still only analyzing the luggage.
What was used to convey the price. Now, if you can use 47 million naira to convey an item,
what will be
inside the item?
But then, Mariah, again, I said to myself that I thought about this a lot. She's the daughter of the president. Yeah, they want to honor her. Yes, they can't afford it. Why the hula baloo? Because there are protocols in the residence of the president. If this wedding or introduction was going to happen in Katsina, they may not have as many protocols. It's because you are not allowed to bring in a phone. And the same thing happened to us when we were going to see the first lady. Drop your phones, if you know.
That's why we heard about it.
Yes.
So if it happened in Daura,
we would not have.
But if 7 million have just gone like that, and if the excess millions would have happened, and nobody would, the president might not have objected. That's an argument. Okay.
The part I see is the part that we can't be a government that is riding on fighting corruption. We can't be a government that is saying, I remember how our president, because I campaigned and I believed in him and I still believe in him, how he came up to say that he couldn't afford to pay for his tickets to pay for the campaign tickets in the party and the form for the in the party. And I wonder how suddenly his children studied abroad, how suddenly they are flying around. There's a lot of contradiction here, and I want to hold my president accountable for having said that we should all tighten our belts and suffer and wait for the blessings to come, and he doesn't seem to be doing that.
No, that's not fair on him. He didn't spend 47 million. It is his in-laws to be, and these are people that always marry.
Hausa weddings are usually lavish. Hausa weddings are lavish.
Yes,
they are days. They take days, like 1 week wedding. Yes. They are doing all sorts and that.
You can't blame the president for what the Indimis do.
That part we know. But what I'm saying is that when they give, I believe there should be, in Yoruba culture, you give list of what you want for your you give list for your dowry, and then when you give that list, you convey to the person that we want something that is low-key. So how come you say you want something low-key and they're coming to your house with 30 vehicles, exotic vehicles? If you had informed them you wanted something low-key, we wouldn't hear about it in the first place. Is it
possible that the president is not involved in that kind of thing? Maybe it's the mother, daughter, then listen, let us have the regular wedding we have.
Did the mother look like somebody who is exotic?
Louis Vuitton bag.
Okay, true. She carries that kind of bag.
What are you talking about? Yes.
You know, the truth is that Ndimi is a billionaire, and it is expected that when a billionaire wants to do something, it should be that grand. The only worry me I have in this issue is what kind of home is the young girl going into? Because when you come out like a power show and you are fighting security agencies, you want to bluff authority because you think you have money. It means I think already there's a problem. Tomorrow, I might not be able to talk because, after all, shut up there, I spent so much money on you. I want to say, Murayo, when the queen of, what's her name? Kate and William, when they were doing their introduction and all that, do you think that the dowry or whatever that was paid would not have been much more than this? But because they are conservative, Nigerians will believe that we have to be loud, we have to be shouting about things. Okay. And I think for me, that is just, unnecessary. Because there are people that are silent billionaires, but they stay humble and they are quiet about it.
Let me take this call from Samali. Are you there?
Murayo, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, why the noise over the wedding? It's like the words of Caesar. It's a way beggar died and recommend sin. But the heavens decide to pray for the death of princess. So when you look at the personality involved, I think there's not much to say about it. Those who are coming, bringing goods here and there, are psychopaths. These are people who are waiting to pick the scrub that fall for the master table. People who are waiting for.
Okay, let's talk
back to two major issues.
Yes.
The show of power, lack of respect for protocols, because you know that you are in the villa. There are things that must be done. The lack of respect for protocol caused the hula baloo. The issue became escalated when even the first lady of Taraba State got injured in the skirmish that took place. Two, quality of marriage that is going to take place. The Ndimis are known for marrying into presidency, first families. One of such marriages is broken already. They are divorced. So it's a marriage of power. And after a while, they've broken that. Like they're not even. It was a major scandal when it took place that they were broken up after having children. So it goes back to marrying for what purpose? Is it because the person is in power that you want to get married? I don't want to be
in the position to judge their marriage.
No, I'm just asking. Murayo, can I
let me
say
take this call. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Taiwo, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's everything.
Fine.
I'm a first caller for the first time.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. So that my comment on this issue is that for everybody to know much, who know much about Ndimi family, is very rich. Ndimi is among the people that are running this country when we talk of corruption. The feud up between Buhari and Ndimi, General Ali Uzo, led to the destruction of Buhari government in 1985. Yes, we can go.
I want to say something that, so I don't just talk baseless. I talk from a point of, okay, I have gone to do a bit of research. I went on Wikipedia, I went on Google. Who is Ahmed Idimi? That's the young man she's getting married to. And there was really nothing much about it, except for the fact that, okay, he posted a picture of about $99 million bank account statement and all that. It's still the same. Because, my dear, we are in this world, though. Tomorrow, what would you be known for? Because there was nothing about the guy on the internet, except for the fact that he's the son of a billionaire. So, I mean, yes, you are happy that you're getting married to this thing. But like I said before, what is the kind of marriage that they are signing the contract? You are just opening your eyes and putting your daughter, and it's the same problem we have in our country today. Even the people that are not as wealthy as that, a lot of us just going to marriage because we just think that this is our tickets to heaven.
All right, let me take this call from Ralph. Ralph, are you there?
Please, thank you for having me.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
It's my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Well, I think we know that Nigerians love very loud marriages. And especially when you are well-to-do, we've seen marriages from governors from a different heads of parastatals. And it is in our blood to make noise when marriages comes up. So I think the truth is that the presidency shouldn't be in any way blamed for whatever celebration the groom's family wishes to throw. Any husband, any wife would want to be lavish. And I think the daughter of the president wants to also be lavish. So the truth is that I don't believe we should take this as an issue, as a national issue, rather than just ordinary people who want to do their thing.
Thank you very much, Ralph, for that. Thank you, Ralph, for that point, because the truth is that I still know somebody that bought a G-Class, the late 2016 G-Class, and legitimate money. Some people are still making money in this recession. So his father, this Ndimi, has an oil block in Niger Delta. So the man is making money. Yes. So 47 million to you is a lot of money, but to him, it's just what he has.
For a billionaire.
Why are we now why we now beefing
we're not
their
beefing.
expenditure on
No.
getting to marry the president's wife?
We're not
the president's daughter.
We're not beefing per se. We're just saying be sensitive to the times. Secondly, respect protocol, respect authority. Thirdly, we're saying what kind of marriage is he going to be in future? Are you going to write a memoir 3 years down the line and tell us how he gave you STI, how all sorts of things happened? Do you understand? The institution of marriage is a serious institution, and it shouldn't just be about the wedding.
Okay? And when you become the president, your entire life and the life of your entire family is being scrutinized by every member of the country you are ruling.
That's why he has postponed the wedding in the
first
place.
That is why you wouldn't have put yourself in that situation in the first place.
What do you Nigerians want?
I want a president that is showing the sacrifice I'm showing as a Nigerian citizen.
He postponed the wedding.
After the wedding, after they have delivered all the luggage.
Okay, let's say something.
Lukman says, Tokwe thinks it's a marriage of power. I think it's a marriage of greed. Abisola says, the money spent on the gift is totally outrageous. The indimies are from Bonu. They should spend,
not gifts.
Please listen. The indimies are from Bonu. They should spend it in the IDP camps.
Well, I'm sure they are spending
some.
But
I read about a few of the philanthropic work that the father is doing, and he's actually doing a lot. And recently he donated about 100 million, although the governor of the state set up a committee that will monitor how the donations will be handed over to the people at the IDP camps, and yet they still are crying right now that they have not seen the money. So, you know, yeah, you have a lot of money, but you see, the truth is that focus on what is important.
True.
Lives needs to be saved. True. A lot of people are displaced from their houses. If I were Zara, I would say to you that there are more pressing issues. But you see, it depends on individuals. My own thought process is not about, I'm not money driven. I'm for the people. So if she also has that kind of mindset, it will be easy for her to say, you know what, please don't shower me with any expensive gift. Rather take this money and go and solve problems.
One last tweet. Eddie Blaze says, I think Buhari is just trying to protect his image because the media is reporting this, postponed or not, recession continues.
It will still happen now. The wedding will still happen.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have a special guest in the building because we're celebrating. Tomorrow is going to be world celebration of people living with disabilities. So we have someone in the studio who's going to explain to us what this day is about. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we commemorate the International Day for Persons Living with Disabilities, which is to hold actually tomorrow. The aim is to assess the current status of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and also to lay the foundation for a future, for a better future and the inclusion of persons living with disabilities. Joining us, excuse me, is a quadriplegic broadcaster and inspirational speaker, Jude Ikegwonu. Welcome to the show.
Jude Ikegwonu.
Ikegwonu. Oh, I do apologize. Ikegwonu. Okay. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so, hi. How you doing?
Hi ladies.
So,
good to be in your midst.
Yes, tomorrow is actually the day where we commemorate people living with disability.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for tomorrow? What exactly is going to be happening tomorrow?
Okay, basically it's a day where all over the world,
yes,
people celebrate people living with physical disabilities, and this year with a particular focus on telling people, making people more aware of the fact that they should stop discriminating against people living with physical disabilities. What these people need is actually love. What we need, is love and you know, people to believe in our abilities. Because most people just believe that once they see a person with physical disability, what comes to mind is the fact that, oh, this person has a mental problem. You know, this person is not capable.
So tell us, what is a quadriplegic? What exactly is that, and how did you, were you born that way, or it just
okay, I've been quadriplegic for 3.5 years. Quadriplegic is actually a medical term used to describe a patient that is unable to move the 4 limbs. You know, in medical terms, it's quadriplegia. Okay, so it's a combination of a Latin and a Greek word. The Latin word quad, which is for 4, and pleasure for a Greek word for inability to move. You know, so when you put that together, you have you know, inability to move 4 limbs. You know, so for me, I was involved in a car accident on the 4th of July 2013, and which affected my spinal cord, C5, C6 level, incomplete, and rendered me paralyzed from my cervical level down. You know, and that's it. And since I was a broadcaster before the accident, and now I'm a quadriplegic. So I refer to myself as a quadriplegic broadcaster.
Oh, yeah. So which 4 limbs can't you move?
Yeah, my arms and my legs.
Yeah. Oh, okay, because I see that you move your hands.
I thank God for the fact that now I'm able to probably, you know, move my arms, you know, to certain degrees, but my fingers are still down, and there's a limit to how I can move my hands. You know, I actually went for medical treatment in India last year. That was when I was involved in very intensive physiotherapy and occupational therapy program, and I think it really helped me. God used that to help me to.
I wanted to ask you, because right now the number of people that have, you know, that are begging on the streets have, you know, because you're saying that discrimination and all that, and I think it spans from when a lot of people that have challenges physically just see themselves only good, you know, at least a huge chunk of them. Because the producer was just telling us this morning in the makeup room that she heard of a woman that actually poured acid on her daughter so she can use the girl to go and beg for alms. You know, so, I mean, are there anything that, or is there anything that we can do to make this? Because when I see them on the street, I know that there's so much more to this person than just begging, but they can't see themselves in that light. So this program you're having, is it going to address that? Or are there things that you guys are doing, you know, to actually reduce the number of people on the streets?
Yes, actually, on my way to the studio this morning, I actually saw a couple of persons on the street, you know, and I really felt bad. And it's because of things like this that I personally have taken it upon myself to embark on a campaign. I tagged it, you know, give right answers to life-challenging questions. Because I found that in life, it's not about the questions life has thrown at you. You know, many people are fond of, you know, once life throws a challenging question at them, they just fold their arms and they just give in. You know, and I set it out, you know, to do, you know, videos, inspirational videos, to speak to people like this, to make them understand that, look, it's not over. It's not about, you know, what life has, or where life has put you. What matters is where you can actually, you know, get to from there, where you can take yourself from there, you know. And, you know, we are hoping that, you know, with the help of the media also, we can help to sensitize, you know, people. You know, I try my best to, you know, do inspirational videos every week to speak to these people. As a matter of fact, I'm not just speaking to people with physical disabilities. I'm speaking to people with whatever form of challenge, you know, in life, so that they just realize that it's not about what you're facing in life. Because trust me, you're bound to face challenges in life. What matters is what you do, you know, in coming out of it.
I want to ask you 2 questions. In commemorating the World Disability Day, how are you advocating to engage the government to make the environment more conducive? I know that every form of disability, we don't seem to include them in our buildings, in our hospitals, in transport system. Once you have a disability, you seem to be disengaged from being able to function in society. That's one. How are you engaging the government? Two, how did this accident impact on your life professionally? Were you still able to work professionally? How did what were you able to, did you go back to work?
Oh, thank you. First, to your first question, it's a huge problem in Nigeria, and it bothers me because most of the persons in government, they travel at least to 5 different countries a year, and to developed countries, and they see how people with disabilities are being treated, and they see facilities in place, that make life less difficult for these persons. But when they come back home, they just pretend like they don't realize it. Trust me, it's a huge problem. In Nigeria, it's even more pathetic, for someone. In fact, when I realized my true states, back then when I was still, in more critical condition, when I realized the fact that I couldn't move my limbs, it was so devastating that I just felt like, giving up. Why? Because I just felt, how would I function in life in a country like Nigeria? How do I get to, even go to church if I want to? Yeah, it's terrible, And now coming to the next question, going back to work, it's also a problem because so many of us, after going through the unfortunate trauma of coming out of the accident or whatever, or accepting your condition, you are not accepted in a society. Some employers, they don't give you the opportunity.
Did you lose your job?
As a matter of fact, I have been at home, or I'm still at home to date, because I have not been called back to work.
3 years.
Yes. I've not been called back, and I know there's so many people that are suffering the same. It's not because I cannot perform. My doctors have certified the fact that yes, I'm good to go. I can function. I mean, as a broadcaster, the most important thing is my voice.
True.
I'm still sound mentally. I know I can still do this thing, but the opportunity is not there anymore.
Let me take a quick break.
I need
when
to
we
come back.
back,
Yeah.
we'll ask you some more questions. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Abdul Hakim, are you still there?
I'm there. Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. First and foremost, Morayo, I have to thank you very much for the wonderful job you are doing together with your crew over there. Honestly, I seriously, in fact, I'm I'm talking with serious passion this morning concerning our government that they should try as much as possible. People with physically challenged people like him now cannot access any bank. I look around within my community, no bank has this kind of provision except one place. So I'm begging the government. Okay. And for TVC, God will continue to strengthen you people. Amen. God will continue to strengthen you because I see way and manner. The first time I watched Mr. Wogu, or what's his name, that was interviewed, I felt, and I pray God will surely use him for what he wants to use him for.
Thank you very much, Abdul Karim. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Let's come to your family, because obviously you are already, I don't want to suggest that you were married before this accident happened, but how has this taken a toll on your family? What are the adjustments you had to make? Were you married before it happened? How has it been with you? Do you have kids? How did this whole new experience affect them psychologically?
Okay, I was planning on getting married before the accident.
Okay.
And till now, I'm still working towards it.
Okay. Is your fiancé still with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Is she the one in the studio?
No. You know, and I really want to use this opportunity to appreciate my family. My family has been so wonderful. And I want to call on other persons, you know, who have siblings or a child suffering with a form of physical disability. Really, they should really show them love. That's what we need
Jude,
in this situation.
So you see, this love,
Yes.
I need you to practicalize it and tell us exactly how people can help. I'll be very honest with you. The reason some of us would run away from someone who has a disability is because of ignorance.
You don't know what to do.
I don't know how to help you. I see that you don't want my pity, but all I have is pity because I don't know what to do. So how do I show love to a friend, a family, anyone that I even meet in the society?
That's a very, very nice one. I think it's just about just coming close to a person. Though sometimes some people, some persons with physical disabilities, they could tend to be very aggressive.
True, because of their condition.
Yes, because you know they get easily irritated. You know, but I think if you keep coming close to them and keep showing them love, that you care, yes, you know, just show them, just care for them, and you know, gradually they'll come out of that their aggression, you know, and they'll begin to accept.
Okay, let me take Abimbola Junaid. Good morning.
Morning, ladies.
How you doing?
Hi, Bimba.
You always look wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very much happy that you're talking about people with disabilities. You guys have been, you know, partners in taking their issues forward, and I would always commend you for that. But as we also talk about their issues in terms of what limits them, let's also take a chronicle look at what we've achieved. For example, in Lagos State, for example, we have the Lagos State Disability Law, and at the national, they're still pushing for that law to be passed. Then also, in the last general elections, which you were so solidly behind us,
to let them vote.
the people were able to get the Inclusive Electoral Act, which meant that people with disabilities were specifically planned for in the elections, and this is being taken forward now by INEC to actually mainstream into the policy. Then just of late, Lagos State has built on the momentum that it has done with the Lagos State Disability Law. They have LASODA, which is the body that actually caters for the issues of people with disabilities. But recently, about a month ago, the Lagos State government actually put about 10 people together to actually monitor and be the ones that would implement the Disability Endowment Fund.
All right, Bimbo, let me ask you something concerning private companies, because he was telling us right now that the company he was working for never allowed him to come back to work. They've never allowed him the opportunity to continue his career in broadcasting. What's the government doing to...
Can he sue that company?
We're not even going as far as suing, but is the government doing anything to compel them to engage people living with disabilities?
Yes, I agree with you to a large extent, but that is probably what you can be a part of in the campaign. You know, I tell people government is meant to be a leveraging platform, but really private sector and the rest of us are the real society. We should care about people with disabilities, people that live in the slums. We should not overlook them. And I think that if we really put in pressure, because lately, we even have the private sector investing and being interested in pumping money into eradicating malaria. So how about housing for people with disabilities? How about education for them? And also for us to advocate, to monitor and be on those boards that will monitor the implementations of this.
Thank you very much, Bimbo. It's always a pleasure having you on. Let's take some tweets.
Somebody was praising me. I won't take that. Big Society.
You said it already.
Big Society says that people living with disabilities may have the will, but how about the society, the banks, accommodation, transportation, hospital, job discrimination? So these are things that we all need to think about as a society.
Very soon.
What I wanted to say was that going back to that employment thing, I know someone that was involved in a very terrible, you know, accident, you know, completely scarred and all that. And the compensation from the company was to pay him. He has salary for life, you know. But this person, his family, everybody deserted him because it's really bad. You know, so I wanted to go back to this thing. Do you think, you know, we can do something about, because it's wrong for them
hold
to just
the company accountable.
Yes, to hold it. You are still under there are terms and conditions for engagement. You know, this thing happened and you're not making any effort.
It's a private company though.
But even if it's a private company, Mariah, you have employed me in this company now, for goodness sake. At least on the grounds of compassion. True. You know.
But they have moved on. I guess you have moved on.
Unfortunately, we have to round up.
Yeah,
let me let you
have the last word about your event tomorrow.
Okay. First, I want to add to the last caller. It's not just about making or giving allocations for persons with physical disabilities and all of that. I think a lot has to be done in terms of management, because trust me, I really don't believe in the organizations that claim to be in charge of persons living with physical disabilities, because if you really look at it practically, people that are really affected are not getting any benefit from these people. True. So as a matter of fact, I don't even know them.
True. You don't have access.
I only read them. I only read them on the internet. Okay, so and I know it's same case for many people, living with physical disabilities. So I mean, what I'm talking about?
Where are they getting the money from?
So should the government even allocate funds? I mean, where would it go to? Last election, I heard that they converged, and they had campaigns and all of that, where they allocated funds and all of that. How many of them benefited from it? I'm sure just those in the executive position that got benefit from it. So I think it has more to do with managing and ensuring that it cuts across.
Well, thank you very much for being our guest today. And we hope we can participate in the in just commemorating the people living with disabilities.
We can all show love to people living with physical disabilities.
Yes, I think that's the one lesson we've learned this morning. Show love.
And believe in their abilities.
And believe in their abilities. Show love and believe in their abilities. That's the watchword for this weekend, and always actually. Have a lovely weekend. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.